And so we begin. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Hold a blanket or put a bolster under your hips. As always, we start seated where we can connect and gather our energy, but I like the hips a little higher. Get a little more space for the fronts of the hips to open. If you ever need support underneath your knees, always take care of yourself. Listen and get what you need to make this space and time work for you. Spine nice and long. Let your sit bones, your tailbone, the deep foundation of your pelvic floor root and anchor. Let your spine be nice and long. Crown of your head tall. Inside of your mouth and your jaw soft. Begin to gather yourself, the different layers and energy, and as you do that, notice what's landing, what you're bringing to your practice this morning, what you notice physically. That's often our first level. What you notice emotionally and energetically. And what you notice spiritually, those deeper layers of connection. Letting your hands rest comfortably. Gently becoming aware of your breath. And you might notice, without trying to change anything, that just focusing the lens of your attention on the breath might indeed begin to shift or deepen or bring your awareness a little bit further in to that flow. Begin to deepen the breath from here. Bringing your intention and attention, gradually moving into your Ujjayi breath, restricting the muscles through the back of the throat, listening to the sound and the feel of your breath. And let that breath focus be a guiding principle, especially through transitions and as you rest in our asanas this morning. Good. Welcome. Namaste. And let us begin with earth and sky. 3 times. Our opening standard to connect movement and breath and inner alignment. On your next inhale, coming up, is also helpful to sort of clear out the energetic space around you and to bring more of yourself from the outer to the inner in alignment between earth and sky. Movement and breath intimately woven. Once you've finished, chin tucked down to that little hollow in your collarbone, wake up the back of the neck, down through the back of the shoulder blades, into the heart space. And maybe slide the head back and forth along the line of the collarbone. And then take that into a seated cow and cat. Moving the neck into extension and flexion. Good, then circling the belly 3 or 4 times in both directions. Continuing to wake up the spine. Keep checking the jaw as you open into the pelvic floor. Everything being interwoven. and interwired. Change directions if you haven't already. Circling through the belly. Excuse me. Good. And then come back to center. Bring your hands around behind you and interlace your fingers. Keep your neck nice and long. Take it deep. Inhale, up and open. As you exhale, gently twist towards the right. Bring your fingers and hands up and bring your head and your forehead forward over that right knee. Keep extending the arms up. One more breath here. You might rise up a little on the inhale and then root down a little more on the exhale. Keep anchoring that left hip. Good. And then come up all the way. Inhale, crown of the head nice and long. As you exhale, opposite direction. Keep bringing the fingers and the hands up. Root that right hip. Drop the forehead down. Lengthening that back side of your body. Good. And come back up. Bring your fingers around behind you. Anchor right behind your sit bones. Stretch your knees forward and down. Lift the sit bones up. Arch the spine a little bit. Lift up the belly. Squeeze your glutes and your buttocks. Widen through the rib cage. Relax the jaw. Pull the heads of your shoulders back. And exhale. Come down. Come down. Good. Let's move to all fours. Welcome, Sylvia. All right. Move your cushion or whatever you were seated on. And if you need something under your knees, go ahead and get that. Widen your fingers, open the thumbs so they're facing a little bit more towards each other. Cow and cat here a little bit, sway the hips. And mostly we're checking into the articulation of the spine. Taking an inventory before we get deeper into our practice. Good. Widen your knees a little bit. Press the fingertips down. Pull the sit bones back to the heels and lengthen the underside of your arms. Get your elbows off the floor. Press your sit bones back so they're reaching back past your heels. Give your lower back a little more space. Excuse me. Good. Soften the belly into the earth. Good. Pull back about halfway. Take that right arm, sweep it under. So we're doing a threading the needle, but down in a pose of a child position. Bring the head down and stretch open the back of that right shoulder blade. Strongly reaching the fingers away from the shoulder. One more breath. See if you can find a little more space between the spine and the shoulder blade. Good. Come up. Bring that right hand down. Inhale, and then as you exhale, sweep under and across that left arm. Stretching the fingers, open the energy through the palms of your hands. Widen the thumbs, spread your digits. And give a little more space. Work the energy between the shoulder blade and the spine. Good. And come back to neutral. Lift up so you're standing on your knees. Gather the energy up. Inhale. As you exhale, open the palms and twist right. Flex your wrists and look back towards your right fingers. Squeeze your sit bones together. Anchor your belly. Pull the shoulder blades together. In breath, palms up. Come to center. Exhale, rotate and spiral. Left. Flex the wrists. Squeeze your sit bones. Anchor the belly. Look back at your fingers. Wiggle them so you can see them. Stretch open. In breath. One more time. Exhale, rotate right. Open. Good. Inhale, come up. Last time. Exhale, left. Good. Bring back to center. Big inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands down. Tuck your toes under. Pull the hips up and open into your good morning down dog. And rocking back and forth a little bit between your hands, your feet. Find your alignment, your spot, your places of connection. So pull the shoulders out of the wrists and towards your hips. Good. And just play with this a little bit. Notice the knees, the ankles, the calves, maybe a little spiraling of your energy. Take your time to feel. Pay attention. Good. Settle yourself back into your down dog in stillness for a moment. Deep in breath, open the breath into the back body, soften the belly, lengthen, root the energy of your heels. Good. Then drop your knees. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Come back into a modified back arch, fingertips down. Lift the hips up. Now widen the front body. So we're widening the back body. Widen and open the front body. Squeeze your sit bones together. Open the throat. And reach the hips down. Bring your fingers forward into plank. Lengthen the backs of your knees. Pull the sides of your body into the midline. Knees down, hips back, arms nice and long. Slide forward. Inhale, press your fingers down underneath your shoulders. Knees towards each other, up into cobra. Pull the heads of your shoulders back and lift the sternum, widen the sternum forward. Relax the inside of your mouth. Good. Tuck your toes under through plank, back to your down dog. Take a step forward. Settle into the back body again. Good. Walk your feet towards your hands. You're coming into a forward fold. And bring your feet about hip width apart. Press the balls of your feet down and lift your toes up. Spread them wide like you've got toe spacers. And then press them down. Jangle the spine for a moment. Feel its length. You want to keep the spine open, long, and strong as we get older. Letting gravity pull it in the other direction. Let the crown of your head drop into the energy of the earth. Feel the spaciousness through the pelvic floor. Good. All the way up. Gather the energy. Inhale. Reach up. Good. Clasp your hands in whatever fashion you can do that. Bend your knees, keeping the spine straight up and down as though you were sliding down a wall. Drop the tailbone a little bit and try not to let the knees roll together. Pull your inner thighs back. Keep the spine nice and long and widen the space through the intercostal muscles of the rib cage. Breathe, side body open. Exhale, pull the belly in. Ujjayi breath, deepen it. One more breath in. And out. Inhale all the way up, straighten the legs. As you exhale, we're going to spiral this as we bend the knees down. So take your right hand, bring it out and across, bend your knees, bend your hips, and bring the right arm all the way over to the outside of that left knee. Bring that left arm up and look up towards the insides of your hands. In breath, coming up. Exhale, spiral. Think about bringing the hips back equally. Don't let the knees roll together. This is the challenge here. One more, come up. Exhale, open, spiral, right arm comes across. Pull in the belly towards the spine, in breath coming up. Exhale, open. Coming up. Palms together. Exhale. To the heart. Drop the tops of the shoulders. Good. Open into a straddle. And we will work with a little bit of rotation, then we'll go into our warriors and things like that and see where we flow. Feet comfortably wide. Root them down, lengthen your spine, check in through your shoulders. Good. Roll the inner thighs in, press your sit bones back, anchor the belly. We're going to come forward. I want you to stop at the midline. Stop at the horizon. You can even press your hands into the crease of the hips. Keep lengthening the spine away from your hands. Keep anchoring the low belly. Try not to let the head drop. Pretend you've got a silver tray on the spine. You don't want to spill a drop of any of the nectar that's in one of those glasses. Lengthen. Unhook the shoulders away from your ears. Bring everything deep into the center and then release your hands down. Take a breath in. Keep your left hand rooted down as you exhale, spiral up and open to the right. Pull that left thigh bone back, roll it in and around, rotate and inhale, bring that hand down. Exhale, left arm spirals up and open. Nice rotations for the spine, giving it a nice wake up squeeze like you're wringing out a towel. Inhale, bring it down. One more time each side. Exhale. Really nice for kidneys, adrenals. And a nice flush. Inhale, letting oxygenated blood come back in. And exhale, last time, open left. Inhale. Good. Roll the spine up. Open, pivot out on that right foot. Check your inner alignment. Bring blocks near you if you need them. Opening into our triangle. Sliding your hand down. Taking your time to find your way in, adjusting, letting your feet be mobile as needed. Good. Lifting the heart space. Don't let the head collapse into the shoulder. If you loosen your hands just a fraction, it'll kind of bring everything like, oh, I need to be like here. I need to be anchored deep, deep in. So watch that, because the arms, they're supporting you, but they're like wings in this. Good. Bring the arm over. Lengthen that side body even more. Good. Bring it up. Rotate and bind that. Pull the shoulder back. Bend the knee. And slowly make your way into extended side ankle pose. Hand can be down towards the foot or the ankle, on the floor, or elbow to the knee. Always options. Root into that back leg. You can also use a block. Strongly connect into that bag. Keep opening the shoulder and lifting the heart. Good. Inhaling, Ujjayi breath. And exhale. Good. Pull back. All the way up and into Warrior Two. Adjust your feet if they get a little too far apart. Open. I often start with my palms up. Helps pull my shoulders back, lengthen the tailbone, and then roll the forearms over. Gaze clear and direct over the top of your left hand. Sorry, your right hand. Getting my lefts and rights here. Good. Inhale. Straighten that front knee. Bring both hands facing forward so you're in a pyramid. Bring that back foot to a much deeper angle and surrender the heart forward. Inhale, half pike. Lift up. Pull that
right thigh bone back, lengthen the inside surface of the spine. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. Use blocks if you need them. Exhale. Good. Coming up into warrior one. So create that visualization. Check in with the angle and the energy of the feet. Slowly push off so your torso is coming up, and pull that left hip around so both hip bones are facing forward. Back foot is rooted and anchored. Inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale, bring the heart and the sternum forward as you strongly press into that back heel. Gaze up about 45 degrees. Stay with your breath. The pose may flow a little bit. I sometimes sort of come up a bit and then come back in. One more breath. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Lift up. Exhale, come forward. Push off into half moon. Bring that right foot about 18 inches in front and a little out to the outside of that foot and stack open the hip. Bring that left hip and left leg up. Stack one hip on top of the other. Bring that left shoulder open. Bring the arm up if you are comfortable here. This is a great position to do against a wall. Root down the insides of your foot, the outside. Find the four corners of the bottoms of your foot. Ujjayi breath. Focus. Find your drishti, which is that single point of focus. All the external senses pulled inward. In deep focus and concentration. One more breath. Bring that leg, upper leg down and back into pyramid. Surrender, release, soften the tops of the shoulders. Lift the heart, inhale. And exhale, pivot so you're forward. Wide angled forward fold again. Switch the sit bones from side to side. Good. Soften the knees a little bit. Roll the spine up. Roll through the shoulders. Check in through the jaw. Set yourself up on the opposite side, starting with triangle. Check the angle and alignment. Hips, knees. Move blocks if you're going to need them. Root down into the pelvic floor. Spread your wings open. Angle that back foot a little bit. Good. Bring the left hand down to the thigh and just keep sliding it down with each breath until you find the edge, you find that place of resistance, where you have that conversation. How does this feel? Is there an opportunity to go deeper? Is this my place to land at this moment today? It might change. If you hang out, it might shift. There might be a little more permission. Inner smile, soften the inside of the mouth.
One more breath. As you exhale, pull the arm over and widen the side body even more. Good. Bring it up and bind. Good. Pull the shoulder open and then make your way into extended side angle pose. Your variation, whatever that looks like. Lengthen the spine. Keep lengthening the spine. Anchor the belly. Pull the muscles of the legs into the bone. Even and steady breath. One more. Good. Inhale, pull back up into warrior two. Adjust the feet, open. Good. And then pull that right hand forward. Pivot so you're coming in to a pyramid. Folding over. Fingertips down. Use blocks if you need them. Inhale, half pike up. Pull that left thigh bone back. Exhale and down. Good. Visualize your warrior one. Inhale, coming up. Hug your muscles, pull everything into the center, lean the heart forward a little bit, strongly press into that back foot. Gaze up about 45 degrees, clear, direct, unwavering point of focus. One more breath if you're still with me. Building our stamina, building our strength. Good. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, forward, fold over, push off. Half moon. Take your time, make your way in, no rush. Listening, anchoring the foot, the hand, pulling up that right hip, stacking it. Root the four corners of your foot that you're standing on. Open that shoulder. Lastly, if you're comfortable, open the arm. One more breath. And hand down. Bring that foot down. Good. Back into our triangle. Open. Lift. Exhale down. Pivot. Wide angled forward fold. Good. Walk your hands forward a little bit. It's almost like you're in a wide leg down dog. And then grab onto an imaginary bar and press your sit bones back. Back past your heels a little bit.
Keep lengthening the spine. Drop the head down between the upper arms. Roll the insides of your inner thighs back. Spiral them in and around to your back body. Good. Place your hands down. Bring yourself back to center with your hands. Lift up on your heels, bend your knees, press off, jump in towards center. Sit back on your heels for a moment and just rest the hands, rest the shoulders. If you need a block underneath your hips, get that. Take a moment to receive and to integrate. Check in through shoulders, jaw, wrists, Receive what we've done so far. Even in steady Ujjayi breath. Good. All right. Pivot onto all fours again. Right knee forward. Come into a low lunge. Good. All right. Then begin to lift that back foot. And this is where our block might come in really handy out on the right side. You're going to lift up the torso. You're going to lift up the foot. And you're going to open and actually, let me do it the other side. It's going to be easier to the other side. Reach out on the left hand. Reach back and open and bring your hand back. You grab onto a pant leg, an ankle, a foot. Look around behind you and stretch open the front of your thigh. Give yourself as much height as you need underneath that left hand. Arch the spine back. Give yourself a little bit of back arch while you're at it. Good. Release that. And then slowly slide that right foot across until you're into pigeon. Lengthen out. Put any support you might need or want underneath that right thigh or even right underneath the whole groin area. Lengthen left leg out behind you. Again, we're playing here with needing less of our hands to support you and more energy into the hips and low belly to hold this pose. So play with maybe just one hand and lift the other hand off for a moment. Get curious. Good. And then slowly coming forward onto your elbows. Ujjayi breath, surrendering the heart. Good. In breath, coming out. Walk the spine up. Lean back a little bit on that right hip until you open. Lift that knee up. You might need to change direction there. Yeah. Into a wide angle through the inside. That right knee is up. Get yourself on something, a folded blanket or cushion will make this easier. Lean forward. Good. Get on the inside of your thigh. Roll and bind this around that bent knee. Bring the other hand. You can use a strap, towel, and then lift up the heart and rotate open towards that left leg. Engage. Hug everything into center. Lift the crown of the head. Root that big toe on that right foot. Lift out of the deepest energy of the low belly. As it roots down. Deep squeeze into all the lymphatic nodules here. Deep opening to the front of the thigh, which we don't often do in a really deep way. And release that, coming forward. Good. Lean back and then stretch both legs out for a moment before we move to the opposite side and just feel the inside of that right hip socket. Might feel a little different than the left. Good. All right, we're going to start the same warm up and everything on the other sides. All fours. We're going to bring the opposite foot forward, the left foot forward. And the deeper you lean into this, the easier you might find it to lift that back foot. Grab your block. I'm going to bring it out to the right side. So I'm going to rotate across the body. Lift the back foot. So that as you lean forward into that front knee, lift the back. Yep. Press into your block. Lean out into that hand and bring the left hand around behind you. Squeeze your sit bones and then lift the torso up a little higher. Play with stretching open front of the thigh, the front of the knee. Pressing deeply into the inside of the groin on that left side now. Nice groin flush. Yoga is so wonderful through all the different postures of really moving the whole lymph system, flushing and releasing through almost every posture. Good. And then release the hand, come back to neutral. And then slowly walk that left foot over to the right side, begin to drop the knee down. Put whatever support you want underneath that left hip. Make any micro adjustments until you feel landed. And then play with the hands for a moment and where the deeper intention and focus of this posture is. Settle into your hips and let the lower belly support the upper body. Hug the muscle into the bone. Pull the heads of the shoulders back.
If you can clasp your hands behind you, you can play with that. Lift the sternum, widen the rib cage, give a little more space for the light of the heart to shine. And then release that and slowly walk forward. Ujjayi breath. Good. Slowly come up. Lifting. Good. And pivot, open towards the right. Flatten both sit bones on the floor, bend that left knee, and bring your belly to the inside. Put a folded blanket underneath your hips, a cushion. Bring yourself to the inside of your thigh. Reach forward. Press your heel and your foot down. Roll the shoulders and bind this. Settle back into the hips. Lift the crown of the head and look open towards the right foot. Strongly extended. Engage it. If your hands don't reach each other, then press them into the floor or use a strap. One more breath. Good. Release the hands. Come forward. And then slowly lean back. Bring both feet in to butterfly. Bottoms of your feet together. Your tailbone down. Let the crown of your head get nice and tall. Anchor yourself to the heart of the earth, the heart of heaven. Energy spiraling above and below, meeting in your own heart. Good. extend the right leg. Half lotus forward fold, rock back and forth. Find that front edge of your sit bone. Sit on a folded blanket if that would be helpful. Gather the energy. Facing forward fully. So bring both hip bones facing towards that extended front leg. Exhale, roll the spine forward. Bring your hands down either side of the leg. Palms down, lift the elbows, half pike up. And exhale, release all the way down. Soften the elbows, let the elbows get heavy. Let the forehead get heavy. Good. Inhale, coming up. Roll the spine, stack the vertebrae, take your time. Roll through the shoulders. And settle. Good. Pull up on that left knee, straighten the leg out. Check in through the hip, circle through the ankle, and opposite side. Half lotus forward fold. If you happen to have an ankle that doesn't mind a deep bend, you can always bring the foot on top of the opposite thigh right into the groin. That's always another option. Again, suggestions. Find the appropriate depth of every position for you. Inhale, coming up. And exhale. Coming forward, bring your hands either side of the leg. Drop the forehead. Plant your hands down. Lift the elbows, half pike up. And exhale, down and release. Good. Inhale, coming up. Stack the vertebrae. Good. Unhook. Come lengthways on your mat. Check in both sides now. Walk your sit bones back, arms up. Exhale, coming equally forward, surrendering into your forward fold, rolling through the lower back as you undulate and find your way in. You might do hands down, lift the elbows up and come up part way again. And exhale, deeply surrendering into this offering. We make this pose and shape as a deep offering of our own light into the light of creation, into the heart of the mother, breathing into the back body, Ujjayi breath. Inhale, roll the spine up. Check through the shoulders. 90-degree staff position. Crown of your head gets tall. Pelvic floor gets deeply anchored. Spine nice and long, that cosmic stir stick, that wand of light of your spine connecting the root chakra, the crown chakra, all the spaces in between. Good. Into our final sequence, make sure that you get everything that you will need, blocks, bolsters, blankets, and come on down onto your back. Maybe bring your knees up to your chest and just circle them around. Feeling maybe an increased flow of energy from your practice. Maybe connecting with some spaces and places that you haven't said hello to in a little bit. Good. All right, setting yourself up for bridge position. Root the four corners of your foot, each foot inside, outside. If you have a challenge in your bridge of keeping the legs parallel and maybe your knees like to open kind of wide, you might bring a block and place it and rest it in between your knees, between your inner thighs, if you want a little bit of extra physical input that'll keep signaling to the inside of your thighs to stay turned on. You want them turned on equally with your outer thighs. All right, spine nice and long, pull the heads of the shoulders back. And starting with the tailbone, coming up. Up with the inhale, you might rock from side to side. Bring the underside of your arms, the back side, the triceps underneath you. And
lifting, lifting, lifting. Lift the heart. Lift the belly, lift the front of your hips. Letting the backs of your arms stay engaged and strong to help support the spine. Letting the front body get light, spacious. One more breath. And then release the arms. Widen the spine. Roll each vertebra down, down, down. Good. Pull the knees up. Little twist. Wrap your left arms around the knee and drop the knees out to the left. Open the right shoulder and hand. Turn your head to the right. Opposite side. Inhale, come up. Good. Inhale back to center. Making your way up into bridge one more time. If you come into plow from here, support your back and lift your feet and your legs over your head. If you don't, on the next breath or two, roll the spine down. Bring the knees up to your chest and roll the hips and the legs over, or you might like to bring a block or bolster underneath. Where is everything here? Here it is. You could bring something under your hips and rest your hips and low back on that. Draw the knees up and over and extend the legs in a modified plow from here. Feel the spaciousness through the bottom of your feet. Nice open length of the spine. This is the same position as we just did with our seated forward fold. Good. And if you're someone who comes up into shoulder stand, support your spine and slowly one at a time bring your legs up. If you're on a support underneath your lower back and hips, bring your legs up to vertical, so your bottoms of your feet are pointing towards the ceiling. Anchor the belly and core. Bring your spine as upright as possible, the legs as upright as possible for your body in this moment. Any variations that you do in your practice, go ahead and play and practice with those. Good. Give it one more breath and slowly begin to make your way down through your plow. And then begin to lower the spine down one vertebrae at a time. Soften the knees into the chest and gradually roll the spine down. Take your time. Make your way onto your back body. You might roll the knees from side to side. You might roll the head. Again, listen. What does your body need to do right now? Good. Finishing off in our fish position. Back arch to work as a balance to the bridge, plow, and shoulder stand. Deeply opening the throat. So some of you might like a folded blanket or cushion or pillow underneath the spine. If you're doing traditional fish, come up into a seated position, then lean back into your elbows and then press your tailbone and the lower part of your pelvic floor and your pubic bone into the floor. And begin to lift the spine and the belly, the rib cage up and open, and widen the elbows until you bring the crown of your head back to the floor, and then rest your arms either side. So you're being supported and deeply anchored deep into the belly, the pelvic floor, all the way up and open to the crown of the head, strengthening the muscles along the spine. If you're someone that this doesn't feel safe for your neck, you'll put a bolster or folded blanket along the length of your spine and lie back over that, supported by that prop. So the tailbone and pubic bone are all still anchored into the floor. The crown of the head is still open and back. The throat is open, but the spine is more supported. Good. One or two more breaths.
Good. And then slowly make your way down. Be very careful of the back of your neck, please. If you're on something, you could roll to your side carefully. If you're coming out from the more traditional pose, really engage the core, the elbows, and the shoulders, and carefully lift the head back and out. Lengthen the back of the neck. Good. And begin to move into Shavasana. This is what is translated into corpse pose. Your whole back body open, spine resting on the floor, the mat, the earth, the arms open and spacious, palms turned up. The legs open, half 2 feet apart. Give them some space in between them. You might even shake them and roll them a bit. Clench and open the fists, maybe tense and tighten different parts of your body and let them go. You might like a blanket over you to make a cocoon. You might like a weighted or even an extra weighted blanket over the belly and torso. So for some people that feels very calming. Some people it doesn't feel good and doesn't work. So play with that. Begin to settle into the feel and the sound and the rhythm of your breath. Continuing to be aware of the senses drawing inward. Some say this is one of the harder poses, to be in the depth of stillness of a corpse, to be in the depth of release and attachment, to be in the depth of non-distraction. We live in a very distraction-oriented culture at this time. Now, there's always lots pulling at us, and yoga is a place that we can consciously choose to step back and step out of the doing into intentional and conscious connection and communication with ourselves. Each breath inviting in so much light. Each exhale opening into another layer of quiet, stillness, and release. Each breath an opportunity to begin again. Each breath is a little life, a connection with life and death. And you notice your mind wandering. Gently bring it back. Stay curious about the inside dance of life that you have. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Deepening your breath, begin to wake up your body. Feeling a little more integration, possibly, a little more connection. Moving your fingers and your toes. Checking in with your jaw. Good. Keep deepening the breath, and when you're ready, bend your knees, roll to your side. And then slowly unfurl the spine as you roll from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Take your time with that. And like a seedling opening, sprouting through the earth and lifting its stem and leaf and flower up. Allow yourself to be in that connection with nature's imagery and deep unfolding. Gradually make your way up to seated. Put a folded blanket or cushion underneath your hips. Lengthen your spine, root above, root below. Rest deep in the center of the heart. We'll bring our time to a close to 3 Aums. Feeling into this deep connection with the sound of the universe, deep, that vibration deep in your own body, in your own cells. And often I take that vibration and I move it, and I start with the heart, with the ah. I move to the throat with the ooh. I move to the third eye with the I also move from the back of the throat to the front of the throat, to the front of the mouth. You can play with that in your own practice. Take a breath in. We'll do it 3 times. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.